الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا
الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. إن الحمد لله نحمده سبحانه ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، له الملك وله الحمد، يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك، ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك، ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا. ومتعنا اللهم بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا ما أحييتنا، واجعله الوارث منا، واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا، وانصرنا اللهم على من عادانا، ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا، ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا. اللهم ولا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا يا رب العالمين. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم إن زلزلة الساعة شيء عظيم. يوم ترونها تذهل كل مرضعة عما أرضعت وتضع كل ذات حمل حملها وترى الناس سكارى وما هم بسكارى ولكن عذاب الله شديد. وأصلي وأسلم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا محمد بن عبد الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه عنا معهم إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most compassionate, the most merciful, all praise and thanks are due to him, and peace and blessings be upon his beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He who is guided by the will of Allah, no one can misguide him, and he who is misguided, no one can guide him except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I do bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Respected brothers and sisters in Iman. Today's khutbah will be the title It will be with the title, Dear Father, Dear Mother, please don't be a fire extinguisher at home, but be a refuge, a shelter, a haven, oasis, as much as you can at home. I repeat, I'm sending a message in the coming few minutes for the parents, out of my experience and the problems that I'm witnessing nearly on daily basis. I'm asking you as a father, I'm asking you as a mother, don't play the role of fire extinguisher, which means you are not there just when it's emergency to solve a problem. You should be always a shelter. You should be a refuge that your kids always comes to you. Not just when the disaster happens, you are there. Why I'm saying this? This is the title now. The reason why I'm saying this. You know, some of you know that part of my job here in this country, basically, to do some kind of family counseling, marriage counseling. We help some families, you know, when they have some kind of dispute between parents and their kids. So I noticed from my experience with tens and tens and tens of cases the following. That a good percentage of Muslim parents, and I'm talking about those who pray and they are practicing Islam. A good percentage. I don't have an academic study to tell you 75% or 82%, but a high percentage of them, they bring their kids in the age of average 13, 14 up to 19, 20. This high percentage in this age, they have a serious problem with Islam. On top of that, something has to do with rejecting Islam, with one of the famous titles, atheism, apostasy, rejecting the whole of the idea of Islam. They are committing already apostasy, ridda al-Islam, and they decided to become atheists, some of them. The majority of them, they have a serious issue with some Islamic teachings. On top of them, the hijab for the girls. Then, some of them, not on top, they have a serious problem with some Islamic teachings, such as, you know, drinking alcohol, the weed, the drugs, but a good percentage of them, which could be equal to the hijab with the girls, is the whole package of the sexual relations. The full package. Boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, having a friend, doing any kind of sexual orientation, the problem that we are facing now, or the whole package which has to do with the sexual life. And some of them they reach to the point that as long as Islam is not satisfying my sexual needs, I decided to leave this religion. Some of them. So now I'm just highlighting a phenomena that I'm receiving with a high percentage. Now, because of the experience of the repetition, you keep asking questions to understand what comes behind the phenomena. I discovered that high percentage, the majority of them, they share the following common ground. Number one, the majority of them, they are in public schools. The majority, not all of them. Some of them in Islamic schools, yes. But the majority, they are in public schools. The majority of them, they have a big percentage of non-Muslim friends. At school, outside school. Which means when they want to enjoy, when they want to spend a good life, so the influence, public school, outside the school. This is something very common. I'm just highlighting a phenomena. I'm not doing a study. I'm telling you about what happens. So this is just a phenomena. Their parents, in most of the cases, they work with us, work with themselves like fire extinguishers. Just out of a sudden, 12 midnight, hello, assalamu alaikum, please help me. My son decided to leave Islam. And sometimes they might call you at 12 a.m. Now I'm asking the question, because, okay, we do our best to help, but we discover that the age of these problems is average 6 to 8 to 10 years. When the disaster happens, the parents, they do what? They want an emergency from the sheikh and the imam. Emergency. Because he left Islam. Do you think someone leaves Islam just out of a sudden? Do you believe so? It's impossible. I repeat. Impossible. You know, some agricultural plantation, the seeds, they were planted for years and years and years from someone or something else outside your domination area, Mr. Father. So I'm sorry to say it. I have to say it. Where have you been? When your daughter decided to leave Islam, it's not a sudden question, it's not a sudden decision. It's impossible. No one, if he is raised in a normal, not excellent, just normal Muslim, Islamic, environment, just she or he sleeps, then he comes in the morning, something, well, I think it's nice to try to leave Islam. Why not to enjoy being apostate, murtad? No one does that. No. It takes, because I sat with many of them. One of the cases, I was told by the one who asked me to give the appointment, he told me that this person, for example, he became a murtad about 20 years. He said he became an anti-Islam and hatred of Islam, and we are not sure if he is an atheist, but most likely he is. Okay, I told him, what do you think was the reason? He said he was, the imam or the assistant of the imam at the masjid dealt with him in a very, very tough way just once. He decided to leave everything. I could not grasp it, but I said, okay, this is what I was told. I have no information. So in myself, I said, Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil on this imam and this assistant. What did he do? When I sat with the young man, I can tell you as an expert, I'm in the field of comparative religions. I swear by Allah that this young man is reading books against Islam at least in 6 years, at least. Because the information that he has needs an average 6 to 10 years to be grasped. And the only simple idea for his father and the friend of his father is what? He came to the masjid. The imam was tough with him and decided to leave Islam. He said, Ya Allah, what are you saying? When I asked the same formula, okay? Public school, a lot of non-Muslims all the time, outside, Now, some of them, after they discover that there is a disaster about to happen, immediately they bring him to an Islamic school at the end. By the way, what you have witnessed might be just the tip of the iceberg. The problem is not finished by taking him from a public to Islamic after spending 8 years in this environment. You have not solved the problem. Okay, what is the message? I told you about the phenomena and the analysis. What's the message that I'm trying to send, which I will finish my khutbah with? In a very simple words, I beg you, brothers and sisters, our kids, our sons, our daughters, they are a trust, amana in our hands. It's a gift from Allah. And Allah says clearly, literally, قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ عليها ملائكة غلاظ شداد. Protect yourself and your families, your kids, your sons, your daughters, your wives. أهليكم نارا, protect them from the hellfire. So one of the basic things of tarbiyah, let's make a quick analogy. We use in Arabic language, we say tarbiyat al-nabatat. The word tarbiyah is used for the plantation in Arabic language. We do tarbiyah for the trees. This is in Arabic. We say tarbiyat nabatat. When you do some plantation, when you seed something, a tree or something, we call it tarbiyah. The same terminology, we use it for the human being, which is the tarbiyah. You all know, even the non-Arabs, they know what tarbiyah means. Now, the basic analogy, how do we do tarbiyat nabatat? Environment, good soil, clean water, air, oxygen, heat. You protect, you keep taking care all the time. Fertilization, agricultural, fertilize all the time. You keep, if something bad, something wrong, you cut this piece, you be careful, you clean, you move it to the sunshine, you protect it from any kind of harmless. If you saw some insects, immediately you bring some kind of, special, materials to kill these kind of diseases all the time. When this small planet becomes a tree, most likely we leave it. خلاص, بس any moment this small planet, anyone can break it. Anyone, even by mistake. What do? This is, we call it tarbiyah nabatat. So is this thing what we are doing with our kids? So I'm not discussing just bringing food to them. Bringing food, paying their pocket money, taking care of their schools, paying for needs, it's something basic. We should not discuss it. It's a wajib, it's a compulsory. Now here comes where we should be competing with the most important wajib, which is to be close from them, to listen to them, to be patient with them, to try to feed them with the concept of our Islam and our Islamic culture. It's your duty as a father. You have to guarantee that your son loves Allah. It's your duty. It's not the duty of the teacher at school, by the way. Teacher helps you, the school helps you. It's your duty, the minimum, that your kid should not hate Allah. Be careful. The best to love Allah, but at least not to hate Allah, because misunderstanding or being ignorant or sitting all the time with non-Islamic, feed channels or against Islamic feed channels, what do you expect him to be? What do you expect? Your love, your sympathy, your empathy, your closeness, listening, patience, time, discussion, playing all the time, discovering the problem before it happens. And if it happened, you will discover it by its early stages, which is normal, adi, no problem. Many of us, as I told you, I am standing, many of us, for many reasons, they ignore, they don't care, they don't feel, they don't want, I don't know, many reasons. Some of them, may Allah be with them, they can't. But the majority, they can. But simply, they are not aware or they don't care. So the end result, I witness it. I witness it with the father when he wants to be a fire extinguisher. إطفاء حرائق. The disaster happens, the fire is there, please help me. What can I do? Wallahi, one of them, he brought his son to me. Wallahi, by Allah, billahi tallahi, just because I want just to respect the father, because I was really feeling sorry for him. The son, he was so rude even with me, to a degree he started making jokes against me. I myself, he brought him so that I will help him, to support him. So he came from his point of view to a scholar to help him. He was mocking, making jokes. He say, what did you study? This is how he stood to speak with me. His father brought him to me to help him to answer his questions about Islam. He make fun. He started making fun even of everything I was telling him about. He was not listening. So he asked a question. I start with very polite, this one. Immediately he jumps to another question. He does not care to listen to the answer, Aslan. I said, okay, I will close my eye. Next question. Okay, this is because, what do you think about this? Listen, just to finish. Then I said, hey, what did you study? With this attitude, with this rude attitude. I said, comparative religion. He said, so do you know the Bible? I said, yes. He said, have you read it? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. I said, yes. I'm controlling myself because I feel sorry for the father, because the father lost his son. I said, I want to help him. I'm like the nurse now, okay? So I have to be patient. Then he said, what is the first book of the Torah? La hawla wa la. He was asking me simple, silly questions as if he's making a test for me. Making fun of me. I said, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Okay, so I can tell what kind of attitude, what time, where did he spend his time, this son. I feel sympathy with the father, but at the same time, I feel so angry from the attitude of the father. Where did he spend his time till his son reached to this level? How? Okay, from faith point of view, I know he's not an expert. But from ethical manners point of view, he did not even stop him not to be rude with me, not once, in the same room. So I can tell that he was a spoiled what? Spoiled child. I can tell that this man, gentleman, was not told once in his life, no, don't do this, this is wrong. No. He was doing everything he wishes because he was spoiled to a degree. He does not respect anyone on earth. And he became an atheist. So it's a package. It's a package. Please, let me finish by repeating the title. Your job to be a haven, refuge, shelter, oasis, all the time, not a fire extinguisher. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين. استغفر الله. إن الحمد لله نحمده سبحانه ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير. Now let me finish with a simple principle in Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will set all of us accountable for two things. For your intention, your efforts, regardless of the results. I repeat, one of the beautiful, excellent beauties of Islam, that accountability will be based on the fact of your intention, your efforts, not the results. I'm discussing the results and the intention now. Maybe the results cannot be controlled, but most likely, inshallah, according to the general law, you will see results. Sometimes you might not control. Don't worry. You will not be accountable. This is the most important thing. Because we know the example of Nuh alayhi salam. Do you think any of us could reach 1000% of what Nuh did? It's impossible. About 1000 years of da'wah. And he's from Ulil Azm min al-Rusul, from the great messengers. Yet, he could not even convince his son. Not because he was falling in short. No. His son, he was so wicked and he decided to be a kafir. What can I do? But the father did his best. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not blame Nuh. But he told him, يا نوح لا تسألني ما ليس فلا تسألني ما ليس لك بأنه عمل غير صالح. Which means, stop asking forgiveness. خلاص, close the file. He's a kafir and he will be punished. خلاص. Detach yourself. But Allah did not blame Nuh in any way. Oh yeah, Nuh, you have not your best. You have not done your best, and therefore, look, no. Khalas, just leave him. He will be punished. Then Nuh submitted. He said, I'm sorry, Allah. I will not ask again. So sometimes it might really, you can't control it. But have you done your best? This is the question. Before we make dua, إخواني وأخواتي جزاكم الله خيرا. I will say it in Arabic, then I will repeat it in English. يا أحبة أهل الدار تخصيصا، قدر الله سبحانه وتعالى قبل سويعات انتقلت إلى رحمة الله تعالى والدة أخينا الحبيب من أهل المسجد، أخوينا الحبيبين الأستاذ طلعت خير الدين والأستاذ فراس خير الدين، اللي بيصلوا دائما معنا وهم من أعمدة هذا المسجد، أصحاب روزة للسيارات، وهم من أهل المسجد، من أهل الخير ومن أهل العطاء. توفيت قبل قليل رحمها الله، ندعو الله لها بالرحمة إن شاء الله. وغدا لمن أحب وكان ظرفه يسمح، والأجر عظيم جدا لمن كان قادرا، غدا الساعة 12 قبل صلاة الظهر في إسنا سيكون الصلاة، ثم الدفن لمن كان مستطيعا، وفيه أجر عظيم كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في الأحاديث. الدفن في المقبرة عن 9th line الساعة 1 بإذن المولى عز وجل. Respected brothers, our dear respected brother Firas Khairuddin and brother Talat Khairuddin, they are both of them, they pray with us in this masjid and they are from the very close brothers to us. Their mother passed away just a few hours ago. May Allah descend His mercy upon her, rahimahullah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The janazah will be prayed, inshaAllah, tomorrow at Esna at 12 before the Dhuhr prayer. So if you have a time, please join us in the janazah prayer. Then the body will be on the 9th line cemetery, inshallah. If you have a time at 1 o'clock. جزاكم الله خير. نسأل الله أن يرحمها رحمة واسعة وأن يغفر لها ويتغمدها بواسع رحمته وأن يغسلها بالماء والثلج والبرد وأن يرزقها أهلا خيرا من أهلها ودارا خيرا من دارها وبيتا خيرا من بيتها وحياة خيرا من حياتها. اللهم يا رب إنك تعلم أنها قد نزلت بك وأنت خير من ينزل به، فتجاوز عنها وارحمها وعافها واعف عنها واجعلها من أهل فردوس أعلى. اللهم يا رب العالمين. يا رب يا حي يا قيوم يا حنان يا منان، إنا نسألك بأسمائك الحسنى وصفاتك العليا أن ترحمنا جميعا رحمة واسعة عامة شاملة، وأن تغفر لنا ذنوبنا يا الله، ما علمناها منها وما لم نعلم، صغيرها وكبيرها، جلها ودقها يا رب العالمين. سبحانك لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك، أنت المقدم وأنت المؤخر وأنت على كل شيء قدير. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. وأقم الصلاة. لا في صلاة جنازة حقيقية عليها بكرة إن شاء الله. تصلي